And we're going.
All right, welcome to DTSP Life. Everything that happens within 15 blocks of the St. Pete Pier. I am Brent, your co-host. We have a great panel here. Tell us about yourself and who are you?
I'm Kendall McIntosh. I've lived in St. Pete over a decade. I was in software, and now I'm just kind of branching out in the entrepreneurial space. So,
Love it. Thank you.
My name is Renee, and I'm from Wisconsin, but I've been here 7 years and absolutely love it down here.
Renee. Okay. My name is Mateo. I moved from Wisconsin like her 5 years ago. Actually, been friends in Wisconsin. I've been investing in trading stocks and crypto and options for over a decade in real estate. And I started building AI automation services for those two, real estate and stock and option trading to save time and share it with everyone else. So you guys are welcome for any questions.
Absolutely. What's your best trade?
I have to say Palantir was the best. I bought it 3 years ago when it was like $20 per share and it hit 200. So that was, and you don't buy the share itself. You can buy an option, a long-term option, a call, because you don't have to spend, let's say, $10,000. You can spend only $500 and you can make the same profit almost.
All right, that blew me away with options there. All right, so what is something fun that you guys have done in DTSP? What is the funnest thing that you have done or want to do? Anyone?
just walking around the town is great. I like walking around downtown St. Pete.
Like
it's
where?
fun.
Where?
You have the pier.
Okay.
You can walk around. If the youthful crowd, you can walk around Janus Landing. Like that whole block there is fun, all the way up Central. And then, the cool thing is that St. Pete recently put in the buses that links the beaches to downtown St. Pete that you can just hop on. And so, because the Central Corridor kind of goes not walking for a little ways. But yeah, I really enjoy this city. And then we have awesome state parks right here too. So
Yeah, I agree with him. And adding to that, there are events happening. Like every day you go there, there's something going on. Like Movement Monday, there's an amazing event with DJ and so many people dancing and activity and so beautiful energy.
And
Just
a
go
sober
there.
event. It's actually extreme sober because they don't even allow nicotine vapes. So they're extreme sober, but all forms of sobriety I love.
Right.
Whether it's extreme or St. Pete sober or California sober, there's all these different versions of sobriety. I like to think that DTSP is known, St. Pete sober, is allowing kratom, kava, THC, mushrooms into your diet as a part of your recovery program. But nix alcohol, nix hard drugs. And that's been something that has worked for me because when I drank, I always had a drink in my hand. I still like to always have a drink in my hand. It's just now it's a kratom seltzer or a kava or a THC. So the recovery community here, I like to say, is the sexiest one in the country because of the kava bar scene. Because if you go to a recovery meeting in a basement like I do every day, it's not a very sexy scene. It's a lot of old school guys that have a lot of knowledge. But yeah, so I love going into a St. Pete kava bar, 10 p.m. on a Friday night. I say, imagine a place packed with cool, sexy people at 10 p.m. on a Friday night and nobody's drinking. And people go, what is that place? That's a St. Pete kava bar. And that's what I love, is being loud, sexy, and fun without booze. It took me 2 years once I got into recovery to even be able to have fun, to be able to talk to girls, to be able to be obnoxious and outgoing. I thought I had never started a relationship with a girl without alcohol, ever.
Wow.
Until I got in recovery. So learning that to talk to a girl. Have you ever been on a first date where you both didn't drink?
100% of the time.
I think that's a skill
Yes, I
that people
do.
do need to develop. Because you're hiding behind a veil of alcohol. And yeah, I encourage people to go out and be sober and get used to it and enjoy life without drugs.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely the page I'm on.
And I don't use the word sober because I feel like the sober community really doesn't like kratom, kava, THC, and mushrooms. So I tend to say I'm in recovery because the people that are truly sober, which is None of that stuff. All they're doing is nicotine, caffeine, and sugar. That's way beyond my capabilities. And so a lot of in recovery meetings, they consider kratom and kava a relapse. So I do not.
Really?
I consider it an outside issue. But it's a very sensitive subject in the recovery rooms. But they changed my life. The 12-step, the 12-step program has taught me how to stay humble and how to be grateful and how to help another struggling alcoholic. And that is how I continue to stay in recovery, is helping that person.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, so it's really good. In the community here, we have more meetings concentrated downtown. There's 9 different recovery groups just in downtown.
Wow.
And then you combine that with the 95 kava bars in Tampa Bay, you've got a really fun, vibrant recovery scene. And then throw in, like you said, the parks. I think we have the second most parks on the water. I think we're after Chicago as far as waterfront parks. So you throw in these amazingly clean parks. We're very lucky our city is not dirtied up or infested with a bunch of people messing up our parks. I think the parks should be for everybody, not just somebody living in a tent. God bless them. I hope they get help, but we all should be able to enjoy a park without needles and without tents with people hiding them, getting ready to stab me.
absolutely.
I can't even believe these other cities around the country where they allow all those tents. That would terrify me, to walk by a tent not knowing who is in there that's going to grab me. And I can't even imagine girls, you get pulled into a tent, you would be terrified to walk around.
No, no one wants that.
And I think we're lucky. Why so many girls are here in St. Pete is how safe it is. At midnight downtown on a Saturday night, a girl can be alone and nothing happened to her.
True.
What city can you do that? I don't know if there is one. You know,
That's why I live here,
exactly.
to be honest.
And that's why. How did you find DTSP?
Well, it goes back for me kind of a ways, a little bit of a loaded question. I came down to Florida on a road trip when I was in college. I was living in Kentucky. I am an American, but I was living overseas, and when it was time for me to go to college, I picked a school in Kentucky, which was a horrible, horrible mistake. and
Where
so
in Kentucky?
it was Lexington. Yeah, so, and I was there for a long time. I have some good memories. I helped build a 8-county wireless network that got a bunch of rural schools online. So it was like, there were some fulfilling parts of it, but if you don't have a lot of money and horses, then there's not much to enjoy there. And drugs are a huge problem in that part of the country. And so I came with some friends down to Florida and just saw it, and we were basically like peeling off clothing the whole way because it was super cold in Kentucky. And then we drove down here, and it was wonderful. I was like, this is where I want to be. And so it took me 16 years, but I did it. I was married at the time. We were in fostering and foster care. I took care of over 60 kids.
Wow.
And
Does that mean a kid lived in your house?
yeah, up to 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
so then we stopped taking in kids from the state because we were trying to adopt, but the state liked the size of our house and how many kids they could put in with us. So they would do a drug bust, which is very common in that part of the country, and they would move the kids into our house, and then we were trying to adopt, but they would never put adoptable kids with us, so it wouldn't close our home down. Well, so after a while, we kind of figured that out, and we closed our home down, and then we came to Orlando to be house parents. And so that kind of opened the door. A company called Friends of Children and Families, which I'm not a big fan of at this point in time, but they do help some, but there's also some really corrupt stuff going on there, I think. But they...
So you love kids, is
Yeah.
what you're telling me.
we got a job there in Orlando, and then that's how I moved here. And I broke up with that company, Friends of Children and Families, and just rebooted my tech career, and I got a job over here. And so I've been on this coast for a long time. I had a theory about Florida that the west or the east coast of Florida was a lot better because it's deeper, the waves are better, and all of that. But Honestly, I've enjoyed the west coast of Florida so much more.
The original West Coast.
Yeah, it's so nice, like
Sunsets.
yeah, you don't get beat up by waves.
Warmer.
Like
Right.
you can't swim in Melbourne. You'll get just killed by the waves. So, I love it here. And
True.
DeSoto, like it's one of the best places in the world. I know.
Oh, Fort DeSoto.
Yeah,
Going all the
Clearwater
way
makes
to
all the
end?
lists, right? Clearwater makes all the lists
Yeah.
for the white beach, but DeSoto's where it's at.
No, Fort DeSoto is amazing, especially if you go all the way to the end. Let Google Maps take you all
Yeah.
the way to the edge.
It's a big T, so then go around to the right and you come around to where all the boaters are and all that stuff. But bring everything with you because it's a state park. There's
Oh, yeah.
not a lot there.
We
so.
do a weekly marketing meeting out there with the staff, and I've got one of those 10 by 10 blanket things that flies in the wind.
Oh,
and then I've
cool.
got a one-touch inflatable couch. And this is how you go to the beach. And then we have
With an
meetings out
inflatable
there.
couch.
What I like about Fort DeSoto is there's no buildings. There's no commercial build out. You know, it's just
Yeah,
you're
it's
kind of like in a
gorgeous, yeah.
barren beach.
Yeah.
So it's really good. They've got a really nice dog beach right up from where we usually go.
They do, and the only other one in the area is on what is it, Davis Island in Tampa. That's another one, but there it's too honestly, it's too industrial there, so there's more pollution.
I think
there.
we're going to need to do a
I don't care for it either.
podcast at, I guess we'll have to use Spa Beach because this is DTSP Life. So I was just
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
it'd be nice to be on a beach and do a podcast and just talk to the random people walking by. But we can do that at Spa Beach. Spa Beach, shout out to the little tiny beach north of the St. Pete Pier. This is our beach. And then
Oh,
you've got
it's-
North Shore, which is a very popular volleyball
Yeah.
beach. I'm not ready for volleyball yet. I'll stick to e-biking, pickleball, kayaking, paddleboarding. That's where I'm kind of into. Does anybody play pickleball?
I do.
Really?
We do.
Yeah.
All
Every
right.
week
Have
we
you
play
guys ever
pickleball.
played over here at Crescent Lake?
We play actually down the street. If you go central, just
Okay.
maybe
But did
a
we
few
play there?
miles.
Because we were playing a
I'm
bunch
sure we
of
played
places around
even.
here.
Yeah, we played maybe
Some of
here
the
one
best
time.
game and is here, but we have the worst courts. The quality of the courts. It's a public park here at Crescent Lake.
Does it have only 2 or 4?
No, we've got more than that.
6?
No, you're right. 4. There's
it's a lot.
4.
Yeah,
They're kind
that's
of
a lot.
arrogant when you go over there because they'll say, "Oh, this is the pro side.
Yep.
The amateur side's over there." So I usually go there before 4 p.m. because when all the pros are out there, I'm like, "Give me a break. I can be a pro in 3 hours of this sport. Within 3 hours of playing pickleball, you're semi-pro."
We need to try that place.
I don't know. I might disagree with you there.
No, really?
No, you're not a pro right away. It takes a minute. There's people that are so good.
It's
Like we'll
like
go
the
and watch, and these
easiest.
other people there, and a lot of them are really old. Like my dad, I'm like
I've
watching,
been
like
beat
in
by an
awe
80-year-old
of these
woman.
really old people. I'm like,
I have been
I'm
beat
not
by an
surprised.
80-year-old
I'm
woman.
not taking
Oh,
3
yeah.
hours to become pro. I'm like,
And she taunted me too, and
Yeah,
really
it's so
Oh,
celebrated.
that's
good.
hilarious. She's like
Right.
so
dishing it
good.
out. That's
Right, we
funny.
80-year-old dishing it out, and that's cool. No, it's
Yeah.
really fun over there. Me and my ex used to play there every day.
Every day.
I've kind of soured on the sport, but I'm ready to get back into it. It's been
Well,
6
Monday
months.
nights.
Worth it.
My pickleball morning is now over. I can stop mourning the pickleball I played with my ex. I think 6 months is an appropriate time to move forward, and now I can go back
Right.
to our court and play with you guys.
Yeah, I think
You're
you should.
welcome.
Monday nights.
So
I've been going to that field for about a year. It's just down the street from here, not far.
I think I know they're new
It has,
courts,
like,
aren't they?
No, it's not new. They have like 8 there or 6, the one we go to. I think it has
Is there a
8.
lot of
8.
people
It has
at-
8
A
and
lot
a
of
tennis
people.
Lot of
courts
It's
as
people.
well.
always busy.
Okay.
It's one of the largest in Pinellas County.
Yeah.
And yeah, so many
E-biking
people.
to the pickleball courts where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a garage full of e-bikes here. So if you guys ever want to go e-biking Crescent Lake or the pier, people need to know that if you have something stressful or terrible happen in your life, you know what you do? You distract yourself with something healthy. You know what you do? You get it on e-bike and you go bike the pier. I can tell you what, your mom died, you lost your job, I don't care what happened. That pier will distract you from everything going on in
I
your
agree.
life. And sometimes you just need a 1 hour distraction to calm down and settle down and realize it's not that bad.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You know?
I lived in Apollo Beach for 4 years, and I telling you, I miss St. Pete so much. I used to drive here every week, 45 minutes, just to go to the pier and walk downtown. Because nothing wrong with Apollo Beach, right? It's beautiful, but more than houses and a few stars, there's not much to do here. But when you come to St. Pete, just walk by the beach, walk by the pier. An event here, a festival here, music there, someone dancing there, yoga on this side. There's so much to do in downtown St. Pete. I miss
Legendary
this
people
life.
watching. Legendary. You tell me that's got somewhere that's got better people watching than St. Pete Pier.
Never.
Yeah.
All kinds of people, all kinds of wellness people. Every 2 weeks now, there's 1,500 yogis hitting the pier.
Yep.
And I love seeing a DJ playing loud ass techno with a bunch of yogis doing yoga. And I think, wow, because I always thought when you do yoga, it's like a hum. It should be like quiet and calming. And with them ripping it with crazy house music is really cool. And they're doing that every 2 weeks now. Every 2 week, every Sunday, every other Sunday. So the wellness, they're saying that this is like the top place for wellness. And I guess you combine the 95 Kava bars, all the recovery meetings, all of our waterfront parks. All this comes together as a full, as a total package for wellness.
And adding to that, when I lived in Apollo Beach, if I need to drive anywhere, it's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour drive. Yeah. Now in St. Pete, everything's 5-10 minutes. Everything's down the street. I feel blessed
Pretty
just to live
dense
here.
here.
I can't compare.
And even if they double the population, it's still going to be the same traffic. What sucks is when I'm from Atlanta, is the suburbia. And that's where a lot of those places are. It takes 10 minutes to get outside of your neighborhood.
Yeah.
I love being able to jump on my e-bike and go to the pier.
I love it.
Literally, I can probably beat you between you having to go there and park. I bet I can get to the site where the psychedelic net is at the St. Pete Pier faster than somebody in a car by e-bike. Once you
Oh,
figure in the
absolutely.
turns,
Yeah.
you figure in the parking and all that. So when it's more convenient to e-bike, and as long as you're going fast, I know that it's sweaty as hell out there. But as long as you're going at least 10, 15 miles per hour, you're not going to be completely wet.
Yep.
But they are changing the laws and rules, so you have to look it up to inform yourself, because they are changing how we are managing scooters downtown,
Yep.
where the traffic needs to be. And most people don't realize this, is that a lot of our streets downtown the whole street is the bike lane. The cars aren't actually supposed to pass you. Like, hog the road as a bike, because like Central, for instance, is a bike lane. The whole street is. So you don't need to be on the sidewalk, and you can't now because they're changing the laws and the rules. Like, you can't threaten pedestrians. You can't go over 10 miles an hour
Really?
on the
Take
sidewalk.
away all my
No,
fun.
the scooters are not allowed on the sidewalks. They have posted little signs. They're kind of hard to see, but so my advice to people is get a scooter, see downtown, hog the road.
Get an e-bike.
Because we have
No scooters.
First Avenue North and First Avenue South that are high-speed roads for the cars. And so, if a car's behind you honking on Central, that's their fault,
Yep.
because you can easily just turn right, get over onto a high-speed road and get out. And I don't understand why downtown St. Pete hasn't made more of Central walking, because I think that would be...
Didn't they talk about blocking that off?
Yeah, and they've had a number of plans. There was a loop that they were going to do, like a park loop at one point in time, but I don't know, maybe we change administration too quickly, or I'm not exactly sure what all's at play, but yeah.
Well,
I
there's a
want it to be more walking.
Absolutely. There's a bunch of e-bike gangs too. I tell people, look up the
out for
Facebook
the
groups.
gangs.
There's our Biking in the Berg, which was inspired. We wanted to have a group of people because there's going to be a day when they ban e-biking on the pier. I don't know when that is, but we have a group of 700 hardcore e-bikers of downtown, and we want to, as a group, stop that. Because I know they're going to take away our fun. There's a bunch of people that speed on there, hit pedestrians, and do crazy crap. But that being said, I never want to lose e-biking the pier. It is a very important part of my life, of my stress relief, of my mental health. So having the Biking in the Berg group as a political force when they do try to ban it. And we all update that with all the latest news. So I really love hearing the inside news that you have about the bike lanes and all that. So definitely post that kind of information on Biking in the Berg on Facebook.
Regarding the biking, I think there is a bridge that goes to the airport. By the way, it's not Gandhi.
You're
the
right.
next
The
one.
the bridge right beside
Did
it.
they open the biking trail just 2 weeks ago there? That one.
Yes.
With the Howard Franklin.
Yep.
Yeah, right by the Howard Franklin. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a long bike ride.
That's what I'm saying. I
recommend
did just
an
buy a
e-bike for
backup
that,
battery, But yeah, I would not want to be stranded halfway
I
down
think
there.
if you're like on a single gear like pedal bike, you're probably a better person than I am, like about physical health and stuff.
I'm not
because
ready to bike across that.
I'll do it on an e-bike, but I don't think I'm gonna.
I don't even know if I'll do it on an
pedal
e-bike.
bike. Yeah. It's
I think it's worth it.
a long ride.
Well, with people just visiting and heading out to the pier, that's one of my absolute favorite things to do. I have people come in town from Wisconsin and different states, but my favorite thing to do is to bring them down to the St. Pete Pier at night, maybe have dinner at Doc Ford's, have some live music, a walk around the pier while you're on the wait list, and head on down to the end, head on up there, and just take in the skyline of St. Pete. And I'm telling
Pier
you,
Tiki?
Yep, Pier Tiki with
Yeah.
the breeze and the lights, and everyone is ready to move here.
I like
I
right
love
there
how
at-
you
at
just
Doc
put me in that
Ford's.
place. She just
Yeah.
very eloquently put us in that place right now. I love it.
Yeah, and
I know how to put
she
you in your
was-
place.
Right? Thank you. Thank you. I hear. I'm listening.
she was giving me feelings because I do
Okay.
like right there at Doc Ford's. You can walk along the seawall, and I love that. You know, like just the salt air in your face. You can see the birds. You can see the fish.
see the
like you
planes
can see
taking
the
off
fish
there,
if you
too.
look
Yeah,
for them.
the
Yeah,
It
planes.
seems
I'm-
healthy.
I love that.
I'm an
place.
airplane enthusiast, so I'm
Oh,
always
yeah.
staring at the
I love
airport. So
it.
I
And the
have
little
actually,
restaurant
I have
there.
taken off in an airplane from there and flown out to Bartow, landed, took off, and flew back. Like I'm not a pilot, but
so
I've done
cool.
I
that.
love it.
I'm a pilot in my heart.
What's the biggest private jet that you could go out of the airport? Because I'm really pissed my G7 can't land there.
Yeah, I don't know what the biggest would be, but it'd definitely be the specifications the aircraft would have landing.
But I mean, you can't have a
landing
jet.
strip
Is my
length.
point. It's only propeller. It's not a long enough runway.
They don't let. I think they let jets in.
Do
there.
they? I don't
I
know.
believe they do. It would have to
'Cause
be
it's a
a
problem
really small
on my
one.
G7.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same. It's the same plane that Elon Musk has.
Nice.
So he probably has the same problem. That's why he can't come to
Yeah,
DTSP because we don't have a long enough runway.
Yeah,
This is something we need to solve.
my
They
Embraer's
need to
out
extend
in
that. Yeah, they
out in
gotta
California right
They need
now.
to extend that runway so we can get the billionaires down here to take advantage of our tech scene. That Kathy Wood just said is the new Bay Area. Our Bay Area is replacing the Silicon Valley Bay Area, and she's the first to say it. And I have to say, I believe her. She has ARK Invest. She has 45 startups in her 3-story ARK Invest downtown. That they're funding and giving chances. We still have never had a unicorn come out of St. Petersburg, Florida. So the first unicorn, check out swipe10.com. It's a food discovery app that will be the first unicorn to come out of St. Pete. What is a unicorn?
Renee.
Mateo.
No idea.
It's a company with $1 billion valuation. Is what we're going for.
Billion with a B.
Yes, so it's shocking that all these startups, all this entrepreneur vibe, all this energy, and there hasn't been a rock star app or a rock star startup come out of downtown with $1 billion valuation. So, you know, there's a lot. I know a lot of people with developing lots of apps, lots of startups. One thing about the 95 Kava bars at Tampa Bay is they're all co-work. So if you've ever been to a co-work place, they're lame, they're dead, and they're boring. So imagine a super fun co-work place. That's the St. Pete Kava bar. They've got good internet. You've got the Kratom, the Kava, the THC vibe, while everybody's on their laptops, whether they're trading stock. Lots of crypto traders. At every Kava bar, there's a group of crypto traders that usually meet over there. So, you know, hanging out with people that don't drink is great for business too. You know, you're going to remember that meeting. You're going to remember the next day. And so I really love the entrepreneur vibe and like Grassroots. That's a 2-story, $3 million Kava bar that has the most sales of any Kava bar in the country. They do over
In the whole
$3
country?
million a year.
Wow.
And they're in a $3 million building that they own. So Grassroots is kind of the epicenter for the movement. And then a few blocks from there, you've got Driftwood, another pretty incredible
is great,
Kava bar, a big co-work scene there. Back to Grassroots, it's the upstairs that's phenomenal co-work. Any day you can go there. There's 20 people on their laptops up there, working away, working on their dreams, and sipping a shell or a kratom. And I just love that energy. I really feel startup guys that are not drinking the beer, like a lot of these co-work places give free beer. I think the days of that are over. I think
Alcohol is a depressant anyway.
right, but I mean,
So how
it
is
is
that-
fun. It is fun, but I think
Yeah.
we're moving away
But if you
to
want to
other
come up
fun
with
stuff.
ideas and engage
Well,
your brain more, I mean, I feel like that
there-
is only natural. Like, why would you want to cloud that if you're trying to make the new unicorn?
You're right.
I
You're
heard
absolutely
that
right.
from the medical community, there really is no safe amount of alcohol. You are poisoning yourself. Like, and alcohol companies don't want you to know that.
Well, they lived on that one drink thing. Where
Yeah,
they said if you
yeah,
just
yeah.
have one drink or 2 glasses of wine, that you're going to be healthy. They have proven that that is absolutely wrong. That there is no amount of alcohol that is good for you.
Right, and I think people need to know that, and so I'm not against people having a drink.
And I'm not either.
It doesn't bother me. I'm not going to tell people what to do with their life, but just understand what you're doing. You're poisoning yourself.
Well, and there's alternatives.
Yeah.
That's what people need to wake up and understand. The kava bars have all of those alternatives. I would never say go out on a first date and drink water. Okay, that doesn't sound fun either. Or have a mocktail.
Mocktails, yeah.
Well, speaking of
That's good.
mocktails, I went down for my grandma's 105th birthday this past Mother's Day, and I went to the casino. And at the Hard Rock, I went out there and I drank 10 mocktails while gambling and everything till 4 a.m. Do you know the next day my hangover reminded me of when I was drinking? So I found 10 mocktails gives you a horrendous hangover, and then it makes me think about alcohol. Maybe it was just all the sugar
Well,
that
what
I
was
was
it?
drinking and all the fruity drinks that I used to love.
What was
that
in it?
gave me the hangover.
I would think the side effect would be that you're in the bathroom all night after 10 mocktails, but like
I was just living it up down
okay.
there and playing craps and just being the life of the party. But man, did I have a hangover. My Model X, I literally had to trick the self-driving with sunglasses and a hat so that because it monitors if your eyes are open or closed.
Yeah.
I literally fell asleep for 15 minutes while driving, and I got home safe. So shout out to Elon and your self-driving.
Well, I love
Talking
that-
about sugar, guys. I mean,
Sugar guys or daddies?
just talking about sugar in general. Okay, I love America very much. Like, I feel appreciated to live here. I moved here 15 years ago. But, every country, nothing is perfect, right? I noticed one thing when I moved here. When I lived in Asia and Africa and Europe, the amount of sugar added to the food here is way more than anywhere
it's-
else.
Yep.
I went, had some fries and put some ketchup on. I'm like, why is this ketchup so sweet? Overseas, they don't add sugar. Here, like 10% added sugar. I'm like, why? I went to a pizza place, had a slice of pizza. I'm like, why is the sauce so sweet? Here, they add sugar to it. The bread, they add sugar to it. Like, sorry, but the amount of sugar added to food here is way too much.
And it's a double whammy too because we process our flours so heavily that it's a glycemic impact too, like heavy.
Well, it
high
turns out
glycemic.
sugar is really bad for you, and that kind of gave me the hangover thing. I started connecting the dots. Like, okay, I think I see why people drink tequila now instead of mixed drinks because you're getting away from all that sugar.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying sugar is just as bad as alcohol when it comes
It
to
is.
hangovers. And I just discovered that this past Mother's Day.
No idea about that. But I love the trend that people are moving away from alcohol because I never drank. I've never been a drinker ever. And people are always asking me, like, why? Why not? And I've noticed a huge trend in the last, 5 or 10 years. Let's just say 5, where I don't get that as much anymore. People are accepting that as normal. Like, okay, yeah, that's cool.
Absolutely.
And it's awesome.
I did a trick where I would get a beer glass and I would have them put Coke in it without ice, so then it looks like I'm drinking a Guinness, so that people can leave me alone.
A Guinness, I love it. And that's why I get mocktails and stuff like that, because I do like a sophisticated drink other than water. And when I go out, I try to overtip because I know that one of the first things that goes when you give up alcohol is you stop tipping good because you're not drunk. So I try to give my recovery community a good name by over tipping. Because because you don't drink doesn't mean you can't be loud, obnoxious, and fun and tip good.
Well, I was a server too, so I tip well because
Yeah.
you got to take care of people.
You're
I
a
think-
server too, Renee.
What was that?
You were a server too, right?
Oh, yeah, a long time
We
ago.
don't
I was
talk about
managing
that.
a restaurant for a while, but I actually had to manage the bar too, and I had a drink. It was fun though. It was interesting. It was great. But what I was trying to look up just now, woman from last night, Mateo, who you said I like to have a sophisticated drink,
Mm-hmm.
not just whatever it might be. What was her drink that she was making? That she's selling. That she's
Oh,
going to be.
actually, she came to the same.
Dawn.
Yeah, Dawn. There we go. What was
In
the
the-
thing
in the
called?
wine bottle.
Teza,
Yep, yeah.
Tez. So I mean, again, just the trend in the last 2 days of coming up with
It's
whole new
amazing.
solutions like that is fantastic.
Everything in that drink is healthy, and
Mm-hmm.
even she uses honey to sweeten it instead of chemicals.
And
or-
it's great for even somebody like you that doesn't do kratom, kava, or THC.
Yeah.
Dawn's drink, and I love the presentation of it being in a wine bottle.
Exactly.
And her pitch is, if you go out on a date and you want to have a sophisticated night without alcohol, I would love to get bottle service, because I can tell you what, I love bottle service back in the day. I love them bringing out that bottle. And so to be able to get bottle service in recovery, to me, that's pretty cool. And that's
Yeah.
the direction we're going. So, yeah,
It is the
I'm
direction.
helping her develop it. She needed a
There you
food and
go.
bev permit.
Yeah,
So
I
she's
agree.
able to develop that product inside my kava bar under my food and beverage license. But yeah, I really like encouraging that type of startup and helping her everywhere I can. I'm going to be her first customer. I'm still waiting on my 10 wine bottles. Dawn, what's the product called?
Tez.
Hold on, am I a
I
second
seriously just
customer
had it
now?
up.
I can't
Something
remember. It was like
The website something
Spitfire,
sounds
Fire,
poison.
Fire and Ice.
It was taste.
The second
Anyway.
one with poison.
I saw
yeah.
it too. I remember what
But,
you're. I
but
remember what you're talking
fostering
about.
a lot of these startups, I'm hoping that this podcast can help foster a community of startups, whether in recovery startups or tech startups. We really want to, if you have a startup and you're in DTSP, we would love to interview you and come on. We're going to be doing this every Thursday. We meet at Entrepreneur Social Club every Thursday at 6:30. That's at Nova, a few blocks from the studio, from 6:30 to 8. We interact and mingle with 70 different, typically 60 to 70 entrepreneurs. And then after that, we do a little bit more networking and come over here to at about 8:45. So every Thursday, 8:45, we're at 721 9th Ave North, St. Pete. If you want to coordinate, just message us. We would love to interview you if you want to be behind the scenes, but you want to be involved. We have all kind of opportunities to kind of, we just want more passionate people that love St. Pete. Actually, not St. Pete, DTSP, because I don't really like St. Pete. I really like DTSP, because outside of that 15-block radius, it starts to deteriorate significantly if I'm going to be a DTSP snob. And anybody go to Kava, any of the St. Pete Kava bars?
I've been to.
Okay.
I've been to a little while ago, not recently. but
Yeah. What was your experience in the Kava bars? Any memorable anything or?
Well, my first time, I didn't know much about them, so I decided to try it for the first time, and I kind of got drunk without having alcohol. I felt like, wow.
Were you
that
drinking
is-
Kava or Kratom?
I think it was kava.
Yeah, Kava will can get you Kava drunk.
Yeah.
But like every true American, you really abused it on the first time, didn't you?
Yeah, I had too much, and I didn't know.
Why
it was...
would you drink a half gallon of something you never had before in your life? That's just true. You're a true American. Because that's what Americans do on their first time. You're going to drink a half a gallon of something, just see what it does.
Yeah.
It was the same with tequila for me. Why on the first time you're drinking it, I'm going to drink half a bottle? It's just something that's American in us, that we have to abuse it on the first time and not tippy-toe into trying it.
Yeah, I had
I
too
know I
much,
hear
definitely.
that when you drink kava, like it's called getting muddy.
Yes.
Yes,
Muddy.
it
Very
tastes
true.
muddy. Yep.
Very muddy. Did you drink it out of a coconut shell?
No.
It's traditional to have it in a coconut shell. You slam it like a tequila shot, and then you sip on the kratom. So you'll buy a kava shell. Those run, $5 or $6. You drink that. Kava gives you stress relief and a numbing feeling. And then you sip on the kratom. When the kava dissipates after about 10 minutes, the kratom kicks in. It takes about 10 minutes for kratom to work, and kava lasts about 10 minutes. Why do you drink kratom after kava? Because it gives you a little bit of energy, a little bit of pain relief. Combining kava and kratom when you drink it, the side effect of both of those is it kills the desire to drink alcohol. And that's what I love about it, because I have a strong recovery program, but I can tell you what, every day at happy hour, and I'm 7 years into this, every day at happy hour, think about drinking. So
What
you
time
know what
is
I
the
do?
happy hour? Can you share it?
5:30.
5:30.
So in every time at 5:30, I feel like drinking. I'll have a kava or a kratom, and you know what? that idea is fleeting, it leaves, and I get back to doing what I'm doing. But for 30 years, I was doing that happy hour at 5:30. You know,
Right.
always. So, and that was a really, really bad. I mean, I'm still fun, but yeah, I was sick of my life ending every 3 years. There's nobody that can go from a couch to a millionaire to a couch faster than me in 3 years. And I've done that literally 10 times over the past 30 years. And I got sick of starting over. I cannot do it. I'm 54 years old. I don't know how many start overs I've got. And the relationship, the business, everything, I would burn to the ground every 3 years. You could set your freaking watch to me. I would know
Due
at
to
2.5 years
alcohol?
in, know what's coming. And I make really poor decisions on alcohol and drugs when it comes to running businesses. I'm very good at letting down all my employees. I'm very good at missing payroll. I'm very good at overdrafting. And it's weird, now that July 8th, 2019 is my recovery date. And so it's coming up on 7 years. Very important. I've got my mom in my life. I've got my daughter, and they're coming for that day, and it's a super important day for me because I didn't know the kind of relationship I could have with my mother and my daughter once alcohol and drugs. They were the priority in my life, and you know, so I cannot believe that. Like my daughter the other day, she called me and asked for dating advice. If you're a father, that is the best thing that your daughter could do. We've always had businesses together, so she's got, I helped set her up a kava bar out in Fort Collins, Colorado.
I have family there.
Okay,
I have,
yeah.
Actually, my family from here is there right now.
If there's a city to compare to DTSP, it would be downtown Fort Collins.
Yeah, it's awesome. I
You
love
know,
it down there.
San
Up there.
Diego, downtown San Diego is another comparison. Difference in San Diego, they banned kratom a long time ago, so the recovery community isn't that strong.
What do you think
Like
about
gaslights?
Milwaukee if you compare it to St. Pete?
There's some similarities. I'm thinking about Brady Street with Rochambeau. There's some similarities. But we've got the lakefront, which is similar to what we've got here too with the pier. But no, it's not. It's not quite.
This
the same.
has different vibe.
Yeah,
Here it's like more
very
energy.
different.
Well, it's the
Milwaukee is
entrepreneur
also
vibe too. I
the
think
brewers.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of
a lot of
entrepreneurs
alcohol.
here, and I think there's a lot of people that are trying to help others. That seems to be a
love that.
recurring feature of DTSP. Is not everybody being so greedy, and not everybody trying to step on somebody to get to the next level.
Yeah,
I
let's
think
nurture that.
There's a lot of collaboration here, and I look at DTSP as one big Google Drive with lots of collaborators. So I absolutely love it. Let's see, what else? We did volleyball, we did pickleball, we did kayaking,
Hiking.
paddleboarding. We
Electric
just got
bikes.
in. So did anybody go to the Red Bull event where they
Yes, we
dove off the
did.
platform?
Oh, that was
I
awesome.
didn't make it. I was out of town that day, but I wanted to.
Absolutely amazing.
I
Yeah,
wanted
we
to, but
sunk
I've
a
been busy,
kayak.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty wild. We overloaded it with a massive anchor, and we had 500 pounds worth of people. We had a dog and a bunch of gear. And guess what? When you get a kayak over 650 pounds, the tiniest wave will sink it.
Oh yeah.
And don't ask me how I know that.
Well, where were you? Because like right there, if you come around from Vinoy Park into
Exactly where we're going.
Right.
We're on the seawall.
So, yeah.
trapped.
and you get there's an effect there. The waves come in and they reflect off the seawall. So it's actually surprisingly choppy right around Vinoy into that marina right there.
Correct.
By the pier. So it gets super choppy.
We're talking about the Vinoy Marina wall on the right side.
I got squirrely with a John boat that I bought one time. It was green. It was small. It was lovely. I called it the HMS Pickle. And so I put it in at Coffee Pot, and I went basically around Vinoy. And when I hit those wave reflections off the seawall right there, I was in a John boat, and I felt like I was going to have a wave come over the side.
Right,
Like,
right.
so you're in a overly laden kayak. Yeah,
And it
that's
was
funny.
terrifying over there because there's no ledge, there's no stairs, and you have a concrete wall.
yeah.
And I'm holding on to the freaking kayak with my toe. It's already completely sunk. I'm holding it. Now, what was cool is a bunch of girls rushed over on their paddle boards, and we put all our gear on their paddle boards. But my buddy had his dog in one hand, his phone in the other. I had my backpack holding with my phones in it, holding it up, waiting for them to come save us.
Wow.
So it was wild. And then my buddy had another kayak. He came up and helped us. So at least 8 people helped us. And then we couldn't move the freaking kayak. So some guys on the waterfront, we hoisted it up. And but again, it was an amazing day. Where I was going with that is we discovered the amazingness of paddle boards. I never understood the business. I never
they're great.
I completely misread the kayak paddleboard business. 90% of the people out there were on paddleboards. I would say 30% of the paddleboarders were wearing G-strings. So I was like, so the girls work out all week on their body, and then they want to go show it off. So they paddleboard around. They even had a cooler on them that they could sit on. I was like, didn't know about that. So you've got all these G-strings paddleboarding around, and I'm like, why would a girl ever kayak? She can't show her butt off. Why would she do all that work on her body and then not show it off? So we're getting in the paddleboard business is where we're going. We've got 2 out there, and we're going to be running 6 kayaks and 6 paddleboards. So everybody, Clear Bottom Kayak Tours, shout out. We've got a July 4th coming up at 8 p.m. I think there's a few spots left. We're going to watch the fireworks
Sounds
in the bay.
amazing.
It's going to be amazing. We have amazing, super strong green underwater lights that make the dance floor, it makes the sea floor look like a dance floor. It's
That's fun.
incredibly strong LED lights that shoot out in every direction, and they're phenomenal. And we actually Ken designed those for us, and we custom made them. They're using Soundbach batteries. Anybody knows a Soundbach? That's the world's largest, loudest Bluetooth speaker. I happen to have 10 batteries to run that thing, so we use these light boxes with that battery. So a little bit of dual use there.
Sounds exciting.
Absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
worth
So
it.
that's-
Canceling my 4th of July plans. I'm
Yeah.
to stay
Yeah,
here.
So
should
that's-
be here
I-
in St. Pete.
I think that's what
That's going to be.
do.
And if you haven't watched at Vinoy Park, if you haven't been on a boat and watched the venue, watched the bands over there at the Vinoy Park from a boat or
not
from a
from a boat.
kayak, and there's a little sandbar out there, so it's really
it's
cool
boats
to watch.
all over the place.
Yeah, it's-
especially around fireworks and stuff like
Yep.
that. Like there's just everybody and their brother gets in a boat and goes over there.
And I would usually e-bike. I would never, you want to either kayak or e-bike downtown. It is getting a little busy now,
Yeah.
so driving seems to be a hassle. So definitely e-bike, and of course we
Parking can be a problem. Uber or
Yeah.
e-bike, yeah, for sure.
absolutely.
Parking there.
All right, guys. What else we got to get covered here?
I wanted to ask Renee. So you were talking about your favorite spots downtown. So Mateo and Renee, what specifically do you like about the pier? Like, where do you go specifically? You mentioned Doc Ford's. I talked about the seawall because I like that, but like, talk about going downtown and where you like to go specifically, like a path.
That's a good question.
He said
Go
specifically.
ahead, Renee. You want to start?
I think I described that a little bit ago. So when people come visit, we'll maybe go somewhere to eat down there, maybe Doc Ford's, where there's the netting. I love going there.
That
I don't
park,
know why
yeah.
I love it so much.
The
but I
hurricane
do.
took the psychedelic net away. I now
Yeah.
can't call it a psychedelic net. Now I have to call it a hexagon net because all that's left is a hexagon. The city needs to pay that girl the couple $1 million, the artist that did it, to bring back that psychedelic net because it's a grid. And when you sit in one of those Adondrak chairs with your feet on the crushed shell and you look up, when the wind is blowing and they have the black lights shooting up at it, with that thing waving, I swear it massages your headache away. I have sat there with a kava or a kratom and sat in that Adondrak chair and look up at that thing with that grid going back and forth. I'm telling you, it will settle you and calm your
Yeah,
mind.
bring a blanket too. So if you don't get a chair, there's great places to just like bring a blanket,
And
sit
just
out,
lay back, right.
and just be there. And like the kids running around in the fountain right there is great. And then there's that slope. I don't even know what
Oh,
it
the
is,
slope
but there's
with
like
the
the
hole there.
slope with the hole in
Yeah.
it. Yeah, like you can walk up there. By the way, that is a place that a lot of people need to go if they walk the pier. You need to go up to the top of that and turn around and look back. and take pictures because you get a great view of the St.
I
Pete
don't
skyline.
think I've ever
from there.
done that.
Yeah, go to the point of it, take your camera, and then turn around and look back towards St. Pete, especially at night, because all the city is laid out in front of you. It's a great place to go
You
see
ever
the whole
partied
skyline.
underneath that hole? We call it the bunker. That is
So
a
I'll
great
have to go do
place
that. I don't
whenever-
know.
I didn't know
Yeah.
about that.
Whenever it storms downtown and you want to, that's a great place to hide. But they've done lots of raves down there. It's
Okay.
pretty badass
Okay.
concrete bunker right
can see
right
that
under where you're talking about, where that hole is.
Okay, I know. Yeah, because it comes up there, so it's a cover over your head. So if it's raining, I imagine a lot of people run for that spot.
Yep. That hole is a big part of my recovery story too, because I ended up 7 years ago, July 4th weekend, pulling a boat, pulling a John boat, a little 8-foot green John boat that had a wood plank on it so they could seal underneath the new pier. It was just a nub back then. And I ended up going off the deep end and getting suicidal crazy from a bunch of drugs and alcohol. But where that hole is, I would stop every once in a while because I was swimming between the airport and the Vinoy Basin. I was trying to swim myself dead. That's where my brain was, completely insane. I was trying to. The ending of the Titanic was in my head, and at the end of the Titanic, all the people were froze and they were drifting under the water, also romantically and slowly. Well, I wanted to do that. How do I drift romantically and slowly under the water and leave this planet? Because I had done so much drugs and alcohol, it made me insane. And I was suicidal. I was like, I have to end myself. And it was an insane bender that got me clean. But I would take breaks. I remember it was storming July 4th weekend, and I would look out, and I was right where that hole is. And there was a little edge of the pier, and I would look out. My legs were all shredded from rocks. And I had been in the water for 2 days, and I had probably gone 9 or 10 times between the airport and the Vinoy Basin, back and forth. And I'm no Olympic swimmer, but all the drugs and alcohol in my head made me keep going back and forth, back and forth. And the security guys and the construction workers, they came out to me, I remember, and I was in the Vinoy Basin on about the 10th run. And they go, hey, man, you need some water? We've seen you out here swimming for the past 2 days. Are you okay? And I said, I just want to return your John boat. And they're like, well, we're not missing a John boat. But anyway, they pulled me out of the water. They gave me a bunch of water and Gatorade. I went over and sat where the marina store is on a big concrete bench over there. And I sat there for 3 or 4 hours. The cops ended up coming, and there were 10 cops there. And they're like, what are we going to do with you? I was soaking wet. Looked like shit, and they said, we want to take you to the hospital. I was like, no, I just need to go to my house, drink some kratom, and forget this ever happened, because I'd been on a bender for 3 days. I was all shredded up and terrible. And the cops go, we're not really a taxi service, we don't take people. I go, man, I just need to get home. And I lived in my kava bar on 4th Street. So the cop picks me up and puts me in the cop golf cart. And me with my ego, I'm thinking he's going in and out of all of the traffic in downtown to show my dumb ass. Obviously, nobody saw me, but I'm feeling like everybody sees me because I've been in the water and I'm in a golf cart, and the cop took me to my kava bar over on 4th. And he goes, you know why I brought you home, man? I go, why is that? He goes, kratom saved my life. So I went into my kava bar. I got him a kilo. And the following day, I went to sleep. The following day, I opened the front door to open my kava bar. I'd been closed for 3 days. I took the sign off that said Brent's on vacation. I did my biggest sales day I have ever done that day. The drugs and alcohol had made me think I had ruined it with my family. I had ruined my life with my customers. I had ruined my life with everybody, and it all got into my brain, and I was like, I have to end it. I have to stop all these voices that are telling me I'm a terrible person. And so I had the best sales day ever. We did $1,000 back then. That was an amazing day. And I thought all my customers knew that all this shit. 10 of them knew. Nobody knew anything. That's why I didn't want to come back. I was like, everybody knows. How can I possibly go back? So anyway, that night, a friend of mine took me to a recovery meeting downtown by the Hollander Hotel in that basement. And I have literally gone there almost every day for the past 7 years. Now, I don't go to the 8 p.m. anymore. I go to the 11. But you would think after 7 years in recovery, you could lay off the meetings. You know, I thought it was like college, like you would graduate. Sorry, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, some people can't.
You
Some
don't
people-
graduate.
Yeah.
So I have to be constantly reminded to stay humble and grateful because a bunch of great things are happening in my life without that $1,000 a day alcohol and drug habit that I had my entire life. So all of these great things happen, and they happen quickly when you make the change. And so I have to be reminded to help others and to stay grateful and humble. Because as you acquire and as your net worth grows, you lose your fucking humility and you lose your gratefulness. So I have to be reminded of that every day at 11 a.m. And my day goes so much better after I do that little 1 hour self-help, that really helps me a lot. Anyway, I don't want to get into a recovery meeting, but that's my life and I'm sticking to it. And that's the story on the eye hole over there.
Well, I wanted to add to what you said, and it's lovely. Especially 7 years is very commendable and great, and I'm very happy for you on that. It's not my idea, but I love it, and I want everyone to understand it. The opposite of addiction is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is a connected, fulfilling life. And so if you can go to an AA meeting and find that connection to get more fulfillment in life, then that's the solution for you. Mm-hmm. There are other countries of the world that do it better than we do, and I think we should in the United States, I think we should look at them, that they have programs that help addicts get jobs and get more connected and get back to living life, because that's...
Talk about Portugal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you...
Really cool.
That's what does it, is being with people and being connected. Addiction is a lonely...
Well, you are the result of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So if you hang out with 5 alcoholics, you're an alcoholic.
True.
If you hang out with 5 successful entrepreneurs, it's just a matter of time till you become the 6th. You are who you surround yourself with.
Yep.
So this podcast is all about surrounding ourselves with high quality people that love DTSP. And that's the inspiration behind this, and to spread this and to find others that have this same passion. Why would I love a city so much? I love it like a brother or a sister. That's how much I love promoting it. People are like, don't tell everybody. I'm like, I want to shout from the rooftops how amazing this is, and tell me the stats on your city, and I will tell you how we're better.
And I agree with you from somebody who lived in 7 countries, 4 continents, visit 30 countries, live in so many places in the world. I have to say, this is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. I will never live anywhere else.
Yeah.
I was in Hawaii, and I was looking out, and it was just gorgeous, and it was beautiful. And the first time I was at Vinoy Park at night, looking out, there's a certain spot that every time it catches my eye, and it's almost the exact same picture as being in Hawaii, one of the most beautiful places, right?
Right.
And it's right here in a backyard.
And the seawall right there, you get dolphins swimming by, especially in the later evening.
Yeah.
When we sunk the kayak, I remember holding on to the little crustaceans on the wall because I was fucking terrified. And I'm sitting there holding on till the girls pulled up on the paddle boards. This was crazy, holding on the side. And this isn't 7 years ago. This is a few weeks ago.
Yeah. I was going to say earlier, so when they first opened the pier, I was totally enthusiastic about it. I went down to the pier. It was great. I loved it. And I was looking around, and I was like, there really is nowhere to get out of the water here.
Right.
And I was like, if you go over the side of the pier, there's no ladders. It's all seawall, and it's all very aggressive. And so I actually wrote city council, I wrote the mayor emails, and I said, we need life preservers that we can throw to people in case they go over, so that they have a fighting chance to just stay in the water longer until we can get some help to go over to them. And you know what? The pier to this day has life preservers all the way around it. If you go and you look,
Is that because of you?
They did that. They did that like several months after I wrote the emails. They put
works.
in life preservers.
that was me.
But
Because
you
I was
were
going
on
to
the
say, let's
Vinoy
get Viking and the
side.
bird behind this
You were in the
mission.
Vinoy side, so that's a pretty long pitch for a life preserver.
But
to go
why
all
not
the way
put
out
a
there.
ladder like you would have on a pool?
Well,
Something.
see, we were talking earlier about things that have changed. Oh, you were talking about the e-bikes on the pier, and you don't want that to change.
Correct.
Well, earlier when they first opened the pier, it was open like all night long.
Yep.
But
24
Yes.
hours, amazing.
Why are
they
they
they found a
changing
couple
hours?
bodies, and so they
Maybe.
made it like they started closing it at night. So
I remember that
yeah,
24-hour pier
So-
was awesome to go down at 3 in the morning. I used to love to do that. That's what we need to fight for to get it back.
I
agree.
agree. I think we could change a
absolutely.
little bit about how it's policed and what the rules are, and
Yep.
you know, both empower the policemen to help clean up problems, to do their jobs. You know, rules put in place, but also just to help protect people.
Well, and Becky in the Berg could be that voice
Yeah.
of the people,
Yeah.
of the bike community, because we also need to police ourselves. These e-bikes that go over 35 miles per hour, these people with these race bikes, they're pretty good at policing the people without pedals. But I don't want the bad actors ruining it for the normal e-bikers
yeah,
that go on there
same.
and go 9 miles per hour and stay under 10.
Yeah.
But I know people are being hit by people that are driving really fast over there, and I don't know how you police that better, or how we have better rules, because I just know we're one hit away. I didn't know there were bodies though.
Well, I mean, yeah, they found a few. They found some in the park, I believe, and they found some in the water.
I remember the 24-hour. I want that back.
I do. I miss it so
It's too
bad.
busy too.
Like,
It's so busy. They would
Yeah.
actually be really busy at night because the pier is getting to be really mobbed. The word is out around the world that this is an amazing people watching destination.
Now it
Yeah, it's
closes
great.
10 p.m. or 11, the pier.
11. I think it's 11.
Yep.
I hope it doesn't go earlier than that. 'cause-
Yeah.
It's actually like every Friday night when we do biking in the Berg. So there's times where they kick us out when we're there late at night. It's like even though we're not drinking, we can still get kicked out of places.
I reminisce about that. It is still nice to get kicked out of places.
I
We're
closed
not
the
a glum
pier.
lot. We're not boring just because we stopped drinking. We
Yep.
can still raise hell, and we can still get kicked out of a public park. We've never been kicked out for playing music too loud. That's the one
Yeah.
thing you can get away with at the pier. That's amazing. I've been going there hardcore, doing our every Friday night biking in the Berg party there, 9 to 10:30 every Friday night. And we have had 3 sound box. We have done music. You cannot get kicked out for loud music. But you know what they just passed a new rule, no tables. Because I would do a pop-up
Yeah,
kava
yeah.
bar. They just passed the weirdest rule of no tables. So guess how we got
Well-
around that? Because I still need a place to do my kava bar and to DJ from.
Put it
What
on
do
the
you think
speaker?
we do?
Put it on the speaker.
We
Put it on the car?
grabbed from the other side of the park, we grabbed a picnic table and we bring it over, and that's where we do the kava bar. And where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But yeah, I look forward to that Friday night. It's so relaxing. It's so fun to be out with like-minded friends, and it's just windy and it's beautiful out.
Yeah.
And I know one thing. I don't need to be staying in the house all the time. And this is a time when I think a lot of people are staying in the house and they're getting depressed. It's beautiful out, but it's hot as hell, so you stay in the house. So to me, it's so important to go out and even get 20 minutes walking around Crescent Lake. I've recently found that short little exercising is so much better. I would go play pickleball for 3 hours and be basically out of commission for a day and a half. And so I associated exercise with energy burn. Now I go walk around Crescent Lake. That's a 20-minute walk. I literally get more energy from doing that.
Yeah.
And as old as I am, to have that revelation, that was a couple of months ago, that going out and exercise can get you more energy. It's counterintuitive to how I think, that going out and walking around Crescent Lake would give me more energy. But it does, and it's
Absolutely.
phenomenal for my mental health, walking around there. So I actually take business meetings at 3:30, walking around the pier. You want to be a vendor of one of my businesses? Let's go walk. Oh, you really want to be a vendor? Let's go e-bike. Oh, you really? Let's go kayak.
Have you ever seen the otters?
I'm
over
not
there at
kayaking with
Crescent
you
Park?
anymore.
A lot of business gets done out there.
Have you seen the otters over there at Crescent Lake?
I haven't.
We actually saw them. Me and my fiance, we've been walking around there for a while, like a few years, and we saw the otters. So go there, check it out. If you get there consistently,
there.
eventually you'll see the otters. There's
I've been
also
going there
wood
hardcore for
storks
4
that are
years,
fun.
and I've never heard or seen an otter.
I've never seen an otter there either.
Yeah.
Is
So
it on the dog park side?
the dog park side. Well, that's the south side.
Yep.
I go to the east side.
Okay.
So, along one of the officially
You
bumpiest
might have
roads
to-
in
you
all
might
of
have
St.
to
Pete.
show me that.
Yeah.
We might have to go out there.
There's like the city has underground waterway there from Crescent Lake.
I know what you're talking
and so,
about.
yeah, nature kind of comes through there a little bit. And so
Nice.
if you walk around from the, south to east side, that's the side that the otters were on. I haven't seen them since the hurricanes.
And that's
since the
what
flooding,
DTSP
but,
Life
yeah.
is all about. Those little nuggets.
Absolutely,
These little stories that we hope to expose here on DTSP Life, that there's an otter family downtown within a 15-block radius of that pier. We want to continue to expose these little nuggets of great things and great people that are in downtown. I think, guys, this was an amazing podcast. We had a bunch of technical problems, but it came together. This is phenomenal. Parting words, anybody? But that's Brent with
Also,
DTSP Life.
I think one thing we should do is pay tribute to someone that was on our show that recently passed away.
Yes.
And I know, like, you guys probably remember him.
Ryan.
His name is Ryan.
Thank you.
Yep, Ryan. We got word a few days ago that he passed. We literally just saw him last Thursday at Entrepreneur Social Club at Nova, being the life of the party, being the amazing guy that he is when he's on the podcast. One of the things about that guy is when that camera goes on, this guy lights up like nobody you've ever seen. He is the life of the party. He's hilarious, funny, articulate. Now, when the camera goes off, he goes down a lot of notches. He borderline, I don't want to say he's depressed, but it was crazy how the camera on where he's at and then the camera off. He's like really on or really off. And I don't know. I'm trying to remember the things about him, because it's starting to kick in and I'm starting to miss the guy. And everybody out there, this is a lesson. Let your friends know how you're really feeling.
Agreed.
Not the
Yeah.
I'm all happy and life is great and all that. No, you're going through a tough time. Let your friends know. You know what? They might have a different perspective. They might be able to give you a nugget. Don't be ashamed. Mental health, it's nothing to be ashamed of. There's a lot of people in this town that can help you. Hell, I've been through it. I was pulling a boat for 2 days, whacked out of my mind, suicidal 7 years ago, a completely useless human being. And so, but I reached out for help. I had friends. I don't know it all. Give me some direction. You get to a point in life where you think you're a know-it-all. People can constantly give you direction. You just have to be willing to accept it, and get into one of these meetings. The meetings, I'm telling you, being around other people in the same direction of recovery is really important. You have to be surrounded with the people that have what you want.
Exactly.
Okay? I want recovery. What do? I hang out with a shitload of people in recovery. So.
Yeah, there's hope. There's anyone you can talk to. There's prayer. There's always something.
Absolutely.
Don't lose hope.
God
Please
bless.
don't lose hope.
God bless Ryan and Buddy. We know you're up there with the lights on, bright lights, being the life of the party up there, and we miss you, brother. And do we have a picture of him?
It's right there.
It's up on the corner.
Awesome. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap. That is episode 10. Have a great night.